while.
Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coca-Cola. Make sure your furnace is ready. Turn on your furnace to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea.
Frankie McDonald, how are you this fine Wednesday?
I'm doing great so far.
Great. Thank you for calling at 20 past the hour. That's great. We just did a little countdown. But
they got a typhoon, a tropical storm headed for Philippines. Possible typhoon this weekend.
a typhoon. What category? How do you label or measure that?
It's tropical storm strike now.
Okay, Frankie McDonald live on the line. We're on YouTube Live. If anybody has any cool questions, you can ask Frankie anything and we'll answer your questions. Hello to Lynn in Texas. What's happening in Texas right now, Frankie?
They're getting...
We're just going to find out what's... Because we have Lynn in Texas. She's a good friend of the show.
Texas. And the weather for Dallas, Texas, is they're getting a lot of severe thunderstorms. Going to get a whole lot of rain on Saturday.
Okay, and...
It's going to bring a lot of thunderstorms and chain lightning, fair, loud thunder, heavy downpours, large hail, damage winds, possible tornado. Typhoon Van is headed towards Philippines this weekend.
What's happening with the world right now? Is this cold front that's been staying with us going away now, or?
They're going away, going back and forth. And did you hear about that? And did you hear about that? The Typhoon Van is hitting Philippines, and I got news. And did you hear about that? Just imagine if they found a drug or treatment for COVID-19, it's like a remdesivir. What happens? They found it, and if it works, great. They have to have it through.
I sense a new joke coming along, Frankie.
The drugstore, they have to...
What's so funny? What happens? What's going on, Frankie? We're having fun here today. Frankie's... Frank, listen to the new joke Frankie and I have been working on. Tell us, Frankie, what is it? We have, we're just gonna laugh today, everybody. Oh, this is good. I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing meth, Frankie. Okay, so what happens if the vaccine comes and they found a cure? What's gonna happen at the drugstore?
The army will be there.
Why? Because the lineup will be so long.
The military will be there. The sergeant will be there.
One of our viewers is saying that Frankie's laugh gives me life. You're very wholesome, Frankie. You're the line will be the line will be so long, Frankie. It'll be 19.5 kilometers long to get the vaccine at your local drugstore.
The army will be there.
Yeah. These images coming in right now from our local media source at Enlightenment Industries. The helicopter will be on top of the pharmacy. The army will be there. The police won't be able to contain it. So what the government will have to call in the army, right?
Yes, sergeant will be there.
And what will the sergeant be saying, Frankie?
Take him out.
You'll say everybody stay 6 feet apart, and because you have to stay 6 feet apart, and how many people on the planet Earth? About 8 billion? Almost 8. They're gonna have to. It'll be a lineup of 8 billion people, Frankie.
They're gonna have to have army at each drugstore.
At every drugstore, they'll have to have a drill sergeant between every person keeping 6 feet apart. That's a lot of drill sergeants, Frankie.
They say it's like a boot camp.
We have a question here from Fuwishi saying, "Hi, Frankie. How are you doing?" From Fuwishi.
I'm doing great so far.
And then we have Use Fidelidiot 227 or something says, "Frankie, is it going to warm up soon in central Pennsylvania yet?"
It's going to warm up central Pennsylvania this weekend, and I'm sending you a video about the drugstore and things like that. I'm sending you the video now.
So Frankie, you call me sometimes, and you told me on the phone, you came up with this yourself, that there's going to be a 19-mile long line at the pharmacy because everybody will want the vaccine at the same time.
Yes, that means I sent you a video about the Marine Corps boot camp.
You sent me a video.
Yeah.
I can't access it right now, Frankie. Larry screwed up the whole show today. Nothing matters. It's really busy. How you doing, Frankie?
But that means you're going to edit the video, post it on your wall.
Okay, I'll post it on my Twitter there about the army.
And your YouTube channel.
The drill sergeant is gonna say, "You guys, you gotta stay 6 feet apart, one at a time," because people don't know how to behave sometimes. So
The sergeant will be there. What about the helicopter?
Oops, sorry about that. Larry's on fleek today. The helicopter, Frankie, is going to be on the roof, of course. Because the drill sergeant will have to, the military will put a helicopter, and because that's how the drill sergeant will get there. What about the tank? Where's the tank going to be? We have Mike the Can Man saying here that the lineup's going to now be 26.2 miles. That's a long... The lineup is so long that you're going to have to get your car. Anyways, I don't know.
The lineup will be so long that to the drugstore to get a treatment, remdesivir drug or vaccine, the sergeant will be there.
Yeah, but they'll have to make the vaccine first, right? In the car companies and stuff.
Once they make the vaccine, what does that mean? And did you hear about that? The sergeant will be screaming.
Who will the sergeant be screaming at, Frankie?
Sergeant will be screaming at the public that make staying 6 feet apart.
Is it the same guy who tells the guy to eat 50 hot dogs?
I did it. It's like guys trying to eat 50 hot dogs at once.
What's the weather like in North America this weekend?
It's going to be a warm air and cold air fighting each other east and west. And Europe is going to be like this. And there's a typhoon headed for Philippines this weekend.
And can you give any advice or warnings for the people over in that area?
Over that area, you have to be prepared. Stay indoors and don't go outside. Stay away from the beaches and don't go near shores in Philippines.
I'm going to look up my...
Stay 6 feet apart at drugstore to get a vaccine. That's what sergeant will say.
Yeah. You gotta stay 6 feet apart. Do it right now.
I sent you the video. You're going to edit it.
So yeah, could be a real problem. That if they come up with a vaccine, how are they going to make, say, a couple billion of them and get them to everybody? And
get more than one companies.
I saw Bernie Sanders on TV asking the Minister of Health there in America, like, is everyone in America going to get the vaccine, regardless of their financial situation?
It's like in America, that's their country.
Yeah. It's different rules in every country. So we have Lynn and Zeppelin. We have Mike the Can Man wants to say hi to you, Frankie.
Hi, Mike the Can Man. I'm doing great so far. I am no longer afraid to travel anymore.
Is this an official announcement, Frankie?
I made that official announcement yesterday.
Now, did you used to be afraid of travel? Can you tell us about the dark days of being afraid of traveling?
That was the dark days. My dark days afraid of travel came to an end.
And how did that come to an end? How did you overcome this fear?
Because I found an answer.
That's amazing, Frankie. Well, good for you. But you can't go on tour right now, so what will you be doing in the meantime the next year or two?
Probably start off local.
You told me, Frankie, that you're going to be going back to your roots. You're going to go back to doing your videos in the park.
The previous video I did is the guy dancing then being chased by horses.
Amazing, Frankie. How do you come up with these ideas for your comedy videos?
My own ideas.
So you want to go on a world tour. You're going to need a manager. I won't be surprised if you do this, Frankie, because you've achieved everything else you put your mind to.
I'll look for a manager and things like that. That's going to be long-range planning. I will need a manager. I will need an agent, and I'll need all the other guys.
I guess
when an organization pays, I have to go where the host is.
So I guess if you need a manager and all that, it has to be someone you trust, I guess, right?
Someone I trust.
We have Zeppelin here saying the Frankie Canadian tour coming soon.
Yes. Starting off like Frank Out Canada tour coming soon.
How long will the lineup be, Frankie?
What? How
long will the lineup to the drugstore be?
Well, that's gonna be part of my comedy skits. That means the sergeant will be there.
This is one of your new jokes that you've been working on. The sergeant will be at the drugstore. We'll have the helicopter on the roof, and people will have to keep 6 feet apart, and the lineup at the drugstore will be miles and miles long.
Well, if this individual gets a vaccine long before anybody else, that means he has to get an ID, an immunity ID card for COVID-19. COVID-19 might end up like H1N1 swine flu outbreak in 2009, 2010.
This is an idea that some countries are thinking about doing, or they are doing.
And then COVID-19 might end up like the swine flu from 10 years ago.
What's the news saying about all this so far this week, Frankie?
And did you hear about that? They're canceling. They're doing fall semester right for home in California this fall.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Students will be doing this schoolwork at home, 6 feet apart from other students in California.
I heard that on the news today, that I think in Quebec they're going to have mandatory online classes for high school.
What about elementary schools?
They wanted to put elementary schools back into business this Monday just passed, but they decided again that it's too early. Our minister also told us that we shouldn't wear masks at all, that it's useless, and now they've changed their mind and says we have to wear masks. So it's changing so quickly. If any, sorry.
Do you remember another pandemic, H1N1 swine flu? COVID-19 could end up like swine flu.
And there's no cure to that, is there? Or is there, Frankie?
There's no the COVID-19 is the SARS-CoV-2 family.
So if you have any questions on the live YouTube chat board, you can sign into YouTube or your Google account, and then you can say hello and ask Frankie a question. It doesn't have to be about weather. It can be anything.
Yes, just imagine somebody found a vaccine right now that means for COVID-19, and after that, and then it'll be at the drugstore. They have to have a long line up. The sergeant will be there.
Yeah, the sergeant will be there. The lineup will be... the sergeant will get off the helicopter. The lineup will be so long. It'll be like 19 miles long.
They say.
That's a long line. What's the drill sergeant going to tell the people when they try to go in the store? Yeah. I love that joke. So you're going to add that joke to your skits that you're doing. Maybe you could make a video of that. Who knows?
And I sent you the video.
Okay, so I'll look at the video later and put it on my post. Frankie, what's the weather like in your area in Nova Scotia?
It's cold outside in Sydney, Nova Scotia. It's windy as well.
And in Montreal, what can I expect this weekend?
And this weekend in Montreal, it's gonna be warm air and cold air fighting each other. Hurricane season's gonna be mighty bad this year.
There's a problem in my area, Frankie. We're on the West Island of Montreal, and people come here because it's very beautiful and touristy, but they're asking people to stay in their own neighborhoods. But people are still coming here, and there's not enough police here because they're busy over in the city. So what kind of advice or ideas could you have to...
People in Montreal have to stay in their own neighborhoods.
Yeah, people are coming here, and then like we can't go out on our own streets because there's people... Like I saw like people in motorcycles with the sidecar with a little dog in the car and people pointing at buildings, and people are still coming outside, Frankie.
Yes, and did you, when I was talking to you on the phone earlier, and I mentioned about the sergeant will be at the drugstore.
Yeah, the sergeant is going to be, they're going to come up with a vaccine, and then there'll be like billions of people at the drugstore. So the sergeant will have to keep people in check so that they don't like break the rules, basically.
The sergeant will be there.
Yeah, he's going to be, he'll be yelling at people, and he'll be spitting out of his mouth, and the spit will go everywhere, which is not good for the thing, so.
The sergeant would have to wear a hazmat suit.
Yeah, the whole suit, yeah, with the glass, and it's terrible what's happening, eh, Frankie? You must miss the mall and your fans and everything, and your friends.
Yes, it's a hard times, unless their talk doctor decides to.
Here's a question from Lynn saying, what will Frankie's next comedy video be about?
I'm working on it. My previous comedy video was the guy dancing then being chased by horses.
Mike is saying that his friend Janessa in Brazil will chase Frankie McDonald.
And that means all the way. And did you hear about that? That's going to be part of the Frank Down World Tour, talking about the sergeant screaming at the drugstore.
Yeah. He'll come via helicopter. The helicopter will land on the roof of the pharmacy, and then he'll yell at everybody.
They say, don't depart.
So we're having fun. We're sorry for my microphone. I'm a bit like out of sorts lately because I'm just I don't know. This whole thing is crazy, and we're
just the helicopter will be at the drugstore.
Hey, did you see Boris like telling people from the UK to like stay alert, go to work, but don't use the bus, but go to work, stay home and go to work, but stay home, but don't go to work, but go to work, stay alert, don't stay home. So the message is confusing to the world right now.
Yeah, and did you have the sergeant will be screaming at the drugstore once they found a vaccine right quick. The sergeant will be there.
He's going to yell at everybody at the top of his lungs. Stay in line.
Sergeant will be yelling.
He'll be yelling at everybody. And then I guess after he finishes his shift, the sergeant will go home and maybe have a nice chicken dinner.
And then after another soldier will be there.
Yeah, the other soldier, he'll be sleeping, and he'll wake up and have breakfast, and then he'll replace the other sergeant. Did the sergeants yell at each other when they're talking to each other?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Not too bad. Great.
Screaming at the people.
Yeah. Let's go to the library. Okay. And they're at the library. Can you tell me where the science section is, please? But you can't yell in the library, Frankie.
The sergeant will be there.
Yeah, the sergeant will be at the Unity. Go outside to exercise, but stay inside.
The drugstore, the military.
Yeah, everybody, you have to stay inside, but go outside to exercise. Stay in your own area, but don't buy anything. But it's okay to open the stores now. You can go back to work, but stay home. What's life all about, Frankie?
When the guy's driving a dirt bike, what happens if he fell on the mountain? He go boo 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 boo. To the ambulance to go. They go to the back of the hospital at the emergency room and say, "Okay, doctor, this guy's all broken up. Throw him in the garbage.
Put him in the garbage. You can't throw people. You can't just throw someone in the garbage because they bump their knee."
The police escort the ambulance to the hospital too.
Yeah, and then what happens if the doctor throws the guy in the garbage? How much trouble will the doctor get in?
A lot of trouble. Media will be there.
Yeah, it'll be a media circus. The paparazzi will be there, and they'll interview the doctor saying, "What did you do?"
Throw the man in the garbage because he just had a cold.
And then the guy in the garbage has to go home. What happens when he goes home?
Wife was like, "Get in the shower.
Get in the bathtub and wash it." So you can check out some of these videos on my YouTube. Frankie and I have made some videos together. If you're wondering why we're making all these silly jokes and stuff, because we just like to have fun. So we do weather and comedy and whatnot. So you were on the Rob and Slim show last week, right?
That was in the end of April. You're on Rob and Slim show tonight.
That's right. Tonight, I was going to say, Frankie set me up on a podcast, the Rob and Slim show. You can just type at Rob and Slim on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll be on there tonight at 7:30 p.m. New York time, where they are, Montreal.
About the sergeant at the drugstore.
Do you want me to tell Rob and Slim about the whole joke?
Yeah.
Because I think they got their Skype cam finally working, so they can see me for the first time, and I can show them the joke and maybe the new video you sent me.
Yes.
So Lynn is saying, put him in the garbage outside, but stay indoors. Yeah, put your garbage out, but don't go outside, but put the garbage outside.
And doctor will say, can't fix him, put him in the garbage.
Yeah. Well, it's important to have fun, and, we're not making fun of anything serious here. We're just having a bit of fun. Frankie, you do comedy a lot.
And then social distancing could be lifted in certain areas before the vaccine.
Yeah. Well, we're having fun here online with Frankie McDonald. We got a whopping 6 viewers. I've been doing this for about 6 years. We're going to nail it anytime soon. I'd like to thank Lynn and Mike P. Mahone.
That means that a coronavirus COVID-19 could end up like H1N1 swine flu outbreak.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good at all, would it?
Could end up like swine flu from 10 years ago.
So we have Frankie McDonald on the line, calling from Sydney, Nova Scotia. And you're what? Do you hear that, Frankie?
That means it could end up like H1N1 swine flu from 2009, 2010.
Frankie, 1 second, okay? There's someone at my window. Just a second.
Oh, man.
doing something at the window here. How angry will the drill sergeant be, Frankie?
Really angry, screaming lungs.
Screaming. Yeah, he'll be spitting. Spit will be flying out of his mouth. Hope he's wearing a mask.
Hazmat suit.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Frankie. There was some kind of spaceship at my window again. Frankie, how are you handling the whole thing, like staying at home and everything? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing great. I just did a video of guy dancing and being chased by horses. That's my previous comedy video I did.
And the park that you did that in, is that the same park where you did the guy trying to eat 50 hot dogs video?
Yes.
Amazing. So it's like you're going back to your roots. And you're not afraid to travel. You're going to be getting on a plane. You're going to have a manager. You're going to, like, the posters. And you have to start off small, though, I think.
Yes.
Long-range planning. Frankie, what advice could you give to people right now during these hard times?
Watch Frankie McDonald's YouTube videos.
I think that's the best advice ever. Thanks for calling in, Frankie. Will you call back at the same time next week?
I'm Frankie McDonald. You're listening to Base Guy Radio Show. Make sure every winter boots, winter jackets, hats, and gloves, and ski pants is ready. Order pizzas and order Chinese food. Buy cakes and pets and buy cakes and cookies.